Greetings, 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 greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, know nothing, control everything. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate the live listeners, everyone that listens in the replay. Always appreciate it. Everybody international, people that are not in the United States, people that listen to the podcast in different countries. Always appreciate you all. This is the Vault, episode 319, mid-year conference update. And so definitely want to give a episode to the listeners what's going on at the vault. Just some of the topics that we want to talk about at the vault over the next coming weeks and months, specifically with the Tuesday episode. If you guys want to listen in every single week, it's Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have episodes every Tuesday. We're actually going to be updating things at the vault. We're going to be going back to doing Sunday shows. Sunday shows are going to be catered more towards the spiritual. So, we have quite a few listeners that, particularly on Sunday, they want to hear how to not commingle business and spiritual, but knowing that, people online are seeking that, the audience is seeking that. So, we're going to give, evidence of that. We've had various spiritual people. People, when we say spiritual, we mean people that are in a position where they know how to do specific practices to eliminate, you know, negative ties, things of that nature. So when we talk about that, we want to, know that, it's not just business because that's logical. We want to talk about the spiritual sometimes that's dealing with the emotions of being an entrepreneur, the emotions of being an investor, the practices of the spiritual. We actually had some, instead of we saying a spiritual show, we'll just go to the natural law show. So a lot of people are seeking a natural law content. They asked us, how does that content tie into the actual, how does that natural law content tie into the worldly laws? Just wanting to have those deeper conversations. So we definitely are going to bring that to the platform and continue to, give the audience things that they're demanding. Honestly, we've heard this in the private, we've heard this in consultations for years. We do get these types of questions. People talking about taking back your spiritual name, coming up with a spiritual name, things of that nature, because people understand what business is and they understand what personal is, and one's public and one's private. And so, since people are aware that we get these questions, so we're going to go to a Sunday show as well, integrating good management skills. One is again, once again, as a trustee, you're integrating those management skills is ultimately what it is. You're managing your emotions, you're managing your logic, you're managing your problem solving ability, things of that nature. So we definitely are really excited about bringing that format back to you all at the vault. We just always appreciate all the long time listeners. We get people that listen, even recent and, one or two episodes and they're on the phone with us. So, we always appreciate those people as well. One of the biggest things that we've seen, throughout the years, and a lot of people do want the updates. They want to know, what does the vault's market sentiment look like? What does the private look like? What's the vault's perspective on the market? We really do our best to be very factual and market based when it comes to our approach on the traditional episodes. But even for this, doing a pop up episode and talking about various different topics. I mean, this is what the audience is asking. I mean, we came up with these topics based off of the fact that the trustees and the consultations and people, this is the questions that they're asking. These are the topics that they want to know about, and so we could sit here. We're going to sit here. If you're standing, if you're driving, if you're running on the treadmill right now, if you're working out on the elliptical, if you're riding your bike right now and listening to this, once again, if you're in your car, we understand the content that the Vault brings to the platform. And so, mid-year conference update, it has to be encompassing of many various topics, not just one. We don't want to just do one episode and do it about one topic. We're going to be here for a little bit because these are some of the topics that we just heard over a period of time, and it's just best to knock them out. There's no need to keep doing all these different episodes. We're just going to go and do it on an episode today. The Vault 319, episode 319. mid-year conference update. So, one of the topics that we've heard in the private more recently is this whole Bitcoin thing and this crypto thing, and people just, yada yada yada. We were even talking to someone yesterday, and they said, "Oh well, Bitcoin is going to go to $100,000." And once again, this is not legal advice. This is not financial advice. Our podcast does not promote any type of advice or legal advice or financial advice. We don't promote it. We talk about what's going on in the conversation that we had with. These are practical examples. These are for purposes of having a conversation. So once again, someone was talking about it, and ladies and gentlemen, when you're in the trenches, you can have these conversations. See, everybody likes to say, "Well, I gotta go seek the people to come." Okay, and so somebody says, "Oh, oh, Bitcoin's gonna be worth 100,000." That's what they say. Then we talked to an investor a few weeks back. Well, we got this coin and that coin. We got in when it was 40 cents. Now it's $2. And we're like, okay. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have just seen public media come out and disavow pretty much this stuff. Coin Market Cap. If you do your research, Coin Market Cap, the owner or the founders of Coin Market Cap pretty much came out and said it's going to be a bust. How do the people that created it come out and say it's going to be a bust? And so if there is no exchange for this crypto stuff, which it can't be, it's just so deep. But here's the topic. The topic is unrealized profits. How many people have all these paper gains, but they're not liquidating? They can't cash out over more than $10,000 because you can't cash out more than $10,000. Do you remember when there were people saying, "Oh, you could buy this with Bitcoin, buy that with Bitcoin"? The people such as the Musk and everyone else that said you could, now they say you can't. So once again, we don't need to make this a 15 to 20 minute an hour episode. We're going to share with the listening audience, so you, for educational purposes, so you can go do your own research. It's called unrealized profits. You got to see how to liquidate an asset. If it's an asset, you liquidate. Some people say, "Well, don't liquidate. Hold on to it." Okay. The fluctuations in that asset right now are scarce. Scarce meaning they're scary. They have put people in the game and they've taken people out the game. These are unrealized profits. These are profits that are called paper gains in our environment. These are called paper gains. This is what people, this is our P&L. This is supposed to be our retirement account. Look at the swings on it. This is the thing getting attracted to the fast money. This is a media hype. It's not even legal by the government. Everybody wants the government to be involved, but the government's not involved. And then they're saying that's a good thing that the government's not involved. But for some odd reason, everybody else wants insurance on their assets. But in this particular market, there's minimal insurances on the asset because the gov's not regulating it. Where is the marketplace? Are they just flooded with that much financial misinformation? Oh, I'm gonna go into this thing. You didn't realize the profit because did it buy you anything yet? And just remember, if it bought you something, in what currency did you pull it into? Because currencies have associated taxes. Currencies do. The United States has the currency tax for theirs. Australia has theirs. Germany has theirs. South Africa has theirs. Everybody's tax regime is different. But guess what? Dollars aren't only in the U.S., so they go all around the world. We understand what this market is, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people, they want to tap into this market because it's a black market. We're just going to go ahead and tell you guys it's called a black market. The gov doesn't like it. When you're dealing with even the regime that's currently in, you'll see that these people, they have no interest in making this legal anytime soon. And so we encourage you all to look at the negative news too with these platforms, as well as the positive news. Of course, this is a new technology, crypto or technology, and it's not completely new, but it's new enough to the mainstream. And now we see what the mainstream's doing with it. They're getting unrealized profits. They see gains, they don't take it, they lose it. That's called an unrealized profit. In our environment, That was almost a waste of time. Why? Because you really didn't make any money. But we like to see how these people say, oh, I'm an investor, I'm an investor. So that means you're long term, right? Do you know the background on these companies? Do you know how they're started? You're taking a Warren Buffett approach. Warren Buffett knows everything about the companies that he's taken over. But they didn't read Warren Buffett or Billy Graham's book. Or, the Graham guy that he promotes. The long-term investor thought process. To add to your position process when you're up in it. What happens when people aren't up in these positions? Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Once again, this is the mid-year conference update. The first portion of this episode so far was dedicated to unrealized profits and this crypto stuff because people call all the time asking for consultations and all this good stuff. And even trustees ask about this crypto stuff. Oh, should you have your hand in it? Should you have your hand in something that's technically illegal? Well, I dibble and dabble. Yeah, that's what they say. That's what the criminals say. And that's why the gov is not excited about making it legal. It's just the facts. Have they made it legal yet? We're talking facts, not the feelings. But people would tell you, oh, what do they say? I became a millionaire off of one coin. That's what they tell you. I became a millionaire off of one coin. Are you serious? I've seen people lose. I've seen people go from having a million and they lost it all. And that's a fact. They in a whole different business. First they was a crypto millionaire. Now guess what? They're running regular businesses now. It's not too sexy anymore. Please appreciate Carrollton, Ohio for tuning in live, listening to replay. Shout out to Carrollton, Ohio. Appreciate Carrollton, Ohio for tuning in live, listening to replay. We're going to go to the next lesson, which is what is money? So many people listen to the vault for years. They want to know the secret. We don't have a problem with saying it in the public. Why? Because the public already has it displayed. It's called gold and silver. So many people come to the workshops. They ask these different questions. How should you get it? Once again, you're not dealing with paper profits. We had someone talk to us the other day. Oh, well, should I buy the gold and leave it on the website? Should I go leave the they're just, I'm going to have the brokerage hold the gold. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the private. You got to hold the hard asset. You got to have it in your hands. You got to have a private safe. You got to have a private what? A private family bank. But oh no. So many don't know. What is money? People come to us all the time with this paper contract stuff. See how we keep going back into the paper profits, the unrealized profits, I'm going to get my birth certificate. This is the question people ask us in the conversation. Well, I have my birth certificate. I want to collateralize it for $100 million. And that means that I'm going to take this as a security now. And I'm going to be able to discharge debt or offset debt. See, when you know financial lingo, because that's what these people think that they know. They think they know financial lingo. They think they know legalese, and then they get on the phone with someone like me. They get on the phone with someone at the vault. And then we say, well, did you talk to a securities agent yet? And they have yet to do it. But you're contacting the vault. That's how you don't know what you're doing. And you might want to stop trying to do it. It's not, how should we do it? First of all, if you know what you were doing, you would have went to a securities agent first because you're looking to securitize a asset through a form of collateralization or some sort. But oh no, because of the conversation that these people have been given, the rhetoric, the thought process behind, you're worth something, and you can you're worth a piece of paper. That's what it's worth. And then it has 100, has a 1, a 3 zeros, and a million behind it. And now you're worth that? It doesn't work that way. We're sorry to bust your bubble. Oh, then they come on, I got my birth certificate authenticated. What does it matter? The country's in debt. You know the country's in debt. So how are you worth anything because you got a birth certificate? It doesn't work that way. Oh, I got my birth certificate authenticated by a debt operating entity. Does that make sense? You're trying to securitize yourself to a debt entity. It's a debt entity. Well, I'm trying to offset some debt too. But guess what? How often does that happen in the public? Is that promoted? Is it taught? No, because it's private knowledge. But these people think over the internet, they're not going to have to pay like a college degree to get this information, to get this education. Oh, I'm not going to have to spend 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, 35, 40, 55, 50, $100,000. They don't want to spend $100,000 in travel fees. They don't want to spend $100,000 in their education. Are you serious, Trust Christian in the vault? Well, I got to spend $100,000 over the course of 5 to 10 years to make sure that my family is minimized in many liabilities for the rest of our life, for generational wealth. So you're not willing to invest $100,000 into your private education to manage $100 million. $100,000 education for $100 million. But they think that they deserve to offset and discharge $100 million. Then you get these people that still, how could you be on the internet in 2021 talking about there's a discharge when these fools are they're hiding their faces behind a damn computer screen. We do workshops at the vault. We've had a busy year so far. We already had the first quarter workshop May 1st. It's just June. We had our first plus sold out workshop. Face to face. Investors in the room. Private families in the room. Trainers in the room. Financial advisors in the room. Enrolled agents in the room. Accountants in the room. Diverse group of entrepreneurs in the room. Professional traders in the room. The ones that, people come to our team. They say, hey, Trust Christian and Cornell, the trader, we're going to give you $100,000 to trade. Like, that's some money. How much? And then this is what they say. Whether y'all know it or not, please never go to an investor with this deal. It doesn't work. People that don't know the private sector don't know that you have to give up a minimum of 50% of the returns if someone's invested money for you on the private side. Some people come all the time. Can I invest $500? Can I invest $1,000? Can I invest $3,000? No. When you come over in the private sector, usually most investments, private sector quality investments, something that the bank may give you because you're an accredited investor, you're looking at a minimum of $25,000. We could say that there could be less. You all can research this if you would like, but private placement memorandums, PPMs, these things are capital raising ventures for businesses that the bank is looking to get funding for. It's just that simple. But they're soliciting it to their high net worth investors, their accredited investors, and that's perfectly fine. But then you get people, I didn't know that I had to have 25,000 or whatever it is. Let me say, we haven't really seen much on average, usually starting out 25 and up. You guys can go look at it. Usually PPMs, the document alone supposedly costs $80,000. A PPM usually costs over $30,000. Easy. So they're trying to make their money back. Just on the document alone, just paying for the document alone costs over $20,000, $30,000, $50,000. Easy, depending on what lawyer you're dealing with. People want to talk about what is money. Get in contact with Trust Christian at thevaultchristian@trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. So here we go. You got this piece of paper once again. It's just paper. It's an unrealized profit. Or it's an unrealized debt to be satisfied. Right? Right. Such a get over mentality. It's not a work for it, earn it mentality. And if that's the case, why aren't these people talking about private family banking? Why aren't they talking about private family banking through the insurance policies? We can say it because the agents are the ones writing the policy. So Trust Christian doesn't write the policy. The agents do. The agents have a license, just like the securities agents are supposed to have a license. The private family banking model. That's what real money is. When you can securitize your family gold and silver and pearls and diamonds and antiques and property of assets of the sort. What's money? Equity is money. Equity is money. Sweat. Equity is money. But when people don't understand what an investment is, they don't know what it is to plant seeds, to cultivate them, and to harvest them. That's 3 different seasons. And they would almost say timing is everything. We see so many people, they get this concept of the gold and silver, their functional metals, their industrial metals, They said metals are going to disappear on the planet at one point. Aren't you preparing for 5, 10 generations down the road? Are you preparing for the long haul? Or is it just, why go grab it now? Why satisfy my generational need right now when I can go have fun and not make sure that I hold capital for the future? Something that actually doesn't go to zero and it's actually staying up with the rate of inflation with your current dollar bills that are depreciating. Money can hold people here all day. Why? Because what is money? Is it the gold? Because we can't use it to pay for your groceries and all these other things, right? You can't pay for many things. Well, what is the Bitcoin? Can you pay for a house debt? Can you pay for your groceries? Some people can say yes. They know how to convert it. That's fine. We'll leave it at that. We're talking about the paper or the hard stuff, though. Real money. That's what's money. Something that has equity and value. If you want to go there with Bitcoin, so be it. If you want to go there with the coins, so be it. If you want to go there with real estate, so be it. If you want to go there with other assets, products, services, so be it. What is money? We don't want to mix nationality with equity. Nationality, some people say, well, oh, it ties you to the land. How do you have right to the land? When you go into the land and the commercial land environment, you have to deal with. Think about it. If there's things called unincorporated areas, unincorporated municipalities. These things are unincorporated. Some of them are incorporated. When you go into the public sector, you're going into a public jurisdiction. If you have your own private equity, you have your own private equity without anyone's validation. But when it comes to public equity, there is a public equity. And there's a way to play in the public equitable game. So that's why at the Vault, we talk about management. So you can learn how to manage. Manage the assets, that's all. Own nothing, control everything. Next topic. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. This is the mid-year conference update from the Vault. People are dependents of the government. Pretty much, we just saw one of the greatest transfers of wealth happen because the elite are getting richer because the weak are getting weaker. The poor are getting poorer. They're not looking to elevate themselves. They're willing to accept a handout. And for that reason, we just saw a wealth transfer happen. People that were in businesses got loans, tax-free, and the people that were at the bottom, that were employees for these companies, rather take an unemployment, which is less than their income. When did unemployment become more than your income? It didn't. Trust Christian Revolts never received it, so we would never know. But when is it supposed to be more than your income? It was a supplement. The government is a supplement. The government provides money to people that don't have it for themselves. So it showed that part of the nation was not able to hold itself down for an extended period of time, so they needed stimulus. That means they're living paycheck to paycheck. The theory is proven, but it's not a theory anymore. It's a fact. 80% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck. That means they're dependent on the government. That's a fact. If you can't solve this problem, you already see in a matter of 2 weeks to 2 to 3 months, a family will get wiped out. Simple as that. And now there are people that have been so dependent on it, they don't want to give it up. What? Once the market is open back up, you don't want to give it up? Ladies and gentlemen, are you paying attention to the news? We don't at the Vault, but we still keep our ear to the street. Is there not a labor shortage with American Airlines through the month of July? A major American airline carrier saying that we are going to cut back on our flights, cancel flights because we have a labor shortage. These are public reports, ladies and gentlemen, from public companies. They are already letting you know there are labor shortages. Why? Not because people, they're not able to work. They don't want to work. Simple as that. Their dependents on the government. It's a class of people. Oh, are you one of those people? Oh, Judge Christian in the vote. Oh, you really just said that? Yes. Because the mentors will tell you it's almost a form of indentured servitude. And if you want us to keep going further, we can continue with the words of deflammity. Why? Because when you're in the position where someone's giving you something, is it for free? When did you give away your energy for free? And the government's giving you something for free? The government's the God now? Never. Or are they? The government's the God. These are a rotating body of people. This isn't even a one-man show. This is a rotating body of people that are what? Parsing out the wealth from what? The wealthy elite that are what? Paying taxes? What elite? Have you seen the cases? They're parsing out what wealth? What wealth? Where did the money come from? Oh, well, it's the government. They can hypothecate it. So then we got this whole regime of print more money for the people. And then we got this regime, well, we need to go to crypto because if we go to crypto, that will eliminate the government's hand in it. Are you serious? Well, the government's hand's not in the crypto right now anyways, right? Right. There you have it. But then they still those some of those people, quite a few of those people, are on both sides of the fence. They're literally, well, I want to deal with some crypto. I'm trying to get my money up on crypto. I'm trying to, build millions and millions and billions of dollars into this crypto thing. Like, have you read the negative news from the coin market cap company itself? Not from the coins. The company that if that website goes down, you don't know what coins are up. The only reason people know what the coins are is because they go to the exchange. It's coin market cap. I didn't see the new news come out. Yeah, because it's moving so fast. That's why the money moves so fast. Most people have not seen that type of wealth transfer ever in their life, especially younger people under 30. They have no idea what a financial crisis looks like. Under 35, what financial crisis have you seen? Though the one where we supposedly heard people were losing their house to foreclosure, which was true. Not everyone. People rotated around. They went into more apartment living. People are doing apartment living. They're doing lease options. They're not trying to be in the ownership position because ownership is liability. Good thing. Good point. Lease options are great. Dependence on the government. What a shame. For the trustees at the vault, when you get in trustee training, of course, we're training on growing assets. So in turn, yes, there has to be a mentality of growing assets from a position of learning and doing, not from a position of I'm going to allow someone to give me something and not go out and produce just as much as they're giving me. And this is a real gut check for a lot of men that listen to the vault. This is a gut check maybe for even some of the younger women. We know there's a lot of younger women that listen and they're very independent, they're fierce, they're running, and they say, I want to get that down. But for some odd reason where I was living at or whatever was going on, and we're not saying everybody can have internet business, ladies and gentlemen. We'll never say that. Not everybody has internet business. If anything, Trust Christian Involved, we're always excited about starting non-internet based businesses. Those are really exciting still at this point to me. A car wash is not an internet based business. What's wrong with a car wash? People like car washes. So we definitely want to say, hey, car washes aren't bad. I mean, people go eat at McDonald's. People have to eat at these fast food restaurants, so, you can go get, not necessarily a fast food restaurant, but if that's what you're going to do offline, you can do that. Some people say, oh, those are capital intensive. I just need a camera. No, you don't just need a camera. So, we definitely would say, it's more to it than just being a dependent on the government. And if we seen that shift come out right now, we saw that shift. And the worst part about it is the elite and the wealthy are still wealthy. And the elite, that's just what happens. They're not going to lose their position. Why would they lose their position to people that literally were willing to take a handout? We're talking about the people that took it personally, not the businesses that got it as an interest-free loan. You guys know the deal. Is it an interest-free? And then people say, well, it's interest-free to my personal. All right. Well, is it own, nothing, control everything? Is it business, not personal? Which one is it? It's business, not personal. Because in a personal capacity, somebody can put you in indentured servitude. In a business capacity, that's a contract. That's not no slavery. That's a contract. That's all it is. It's a temporary contract or an extended period contract. It's a contract. But oh no, no. It looks like this last round of what? Government dependency is supposed to be free. Ladies and gentlemen, look, everybody might maybe not tell you that the handouts are not free. But guess what? The handouts aren't free. Never have been, never will be. And if you don't study history to learn how what handouts come with other stipulations. Oh, no, 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 Church Christian. You don't understand my situation. Yeah, that's what we hear all the time. But that's why they still call us and ask us all the time. Should I get the PPP money? How should I do it? In the LLC, I was thinking about doing it this way. Oh, well, they getting the money directly to my name and then they getting it all. Oh, we heard all the scams. We heard the scams and the scams were getting scammier. And they just had a whole lot of scams going on throughout that time. And guess what? The presidential team that's in right now, boy, do they like locking people up. Oh, you stole government funds. What? How do we know you stole the government funds? Well, let's think about this. You actually went directly to the government's door and said, hey, we need some money. And they say, hey, give me your number. What number did you give them? Probably the social. Oh, because that's how you only get the free stuff. Did you know that? You couldn't get the free stuff if you didn't have that number because most people know if they didn't have the number, they probably wouldn't get the free stuff. Okay, so you gave them that number. Okay. You gave them that number. They gave you the free stuff. But they didn't tell you that there were stipulations with it. They didn't tell you how they can create money out of thin air for that situation. Oh, it's a declaration of emergency. It was an emergency. Oh, for the government or for you? Not everybody needed it. It wasn't a national situation. It was an individual situation. Always is, always will be. Why? If it was such a national emergency, why wouldn't you just give it only to the people? Why'd they give it to the businesses? Why did they give it to the businesses too? Hold on. Hold on. Let's think about this. The businesses are dependent on the government. The businesses are sucking the government's you know what. Really? The businesses? Why didn't you just give it to the people? Everybody has a social, right? No, everybody doesn't have a social. The business owners don't have a social. That's why they have the businesses in place. Okay. Let's see where this is going. Trust Christian in the vault. Some people are what is this question? What is these thoughts that we have to think about now? We could go real deep. It don't need to be too deep. Just don't be a dependent on the government. Depending on the government comes with stipulations, ladies and gentlemen. Always has, always will. You have to. In another episode for y'all. Let's see what else we gonna been wanting to go about. Guilty by association. How easy is this topic to talk about? Because so many people, they just don't understand the power of association. Whether they're younger or they're older, it's the power of association. This is one of the top 5 topics that we talk about in trustee training because people have family members that they're trying to drag across the finish line of generational wealth. We'll repeat it again. We have people, you may be one of those people, dragging your family across the finish line to generational wealth. That means you got to make sure that they're on board. You got to always present it to them and you got to sell it. And they may not even be on board. They're not on board fully. They're not at the family trust meetings. When's the last time you had a family trust meeting? Oh, remember, guilty by association. You're associating with family members that right now they're not able to help. Then you're dealing with maybe friends that are right now maybe not to help. How can a friend help you? The friend's not in trust. People in trust deal with people in trust. That's why at the vault we do the workshops for the community. Because the workshops for the trustees to connect and do things together. Because now what? When you're in trustee training, you can connect with other trustees. Guilty by association. Or trust Christian in the vault. Look, I ain't trying to leave nobody behind. I'm not trying to change. You got some people they willing to change, but once you change, you got to get in a better association. Be guilty by being around smart people, intelligent people, people that are independent in thought. Guilty by association in business. It's one of those things when people see who you associate with, they may never do business with you. And when they see who you do business with, they may do business with you. And these are the things that you think about as a trustee and how you're moving out here in life. Who you associate, who you align your superpowers with. It's very important to align yourself with people of high regard. Nobody's quote unquote perfect walking right now. For that reason, we're all putting ourselves in a position to be stewards, great stewards of the assets that we've been bequeathed while we're here and passing it along to the next generation. Being actually a great steward, a great trustee from one generation to the next. No hands down. How you gonna do that if you're not associating with the big bucks? You want the big bucks. You say you deserve the big bucks, but are you associating with the big bucks? We're talking about money. Are you associating with wealth, power, and respect? People that actually respect it. We got people at the vault, love it or hate it. They respect it. Love it or hate it. Guilty by association can be a deep topic all day. Just because, let's see, when you're sitting here and you're looking to get some things done, so many people contact the vault. Oh, I need a lawyer. I need an accountant. So you need a lawyer. You need an accountant. What happened to your team building skills? Not everybody says that, but what happened to the team building skills? The team building skills means you got to associate with a higher caliber of people. You got to go to lawyer meetings. You have to go to accounting meetings. You can't be around people that right now are not helping you do that. You got to go seek what you are looking to find. They're out there. The door's open. All you got to do is just knock and ask. The association is critical. It's going to be probably one of your biggest enhances or one of your greatest detriments. Because we live in this ooey gooey society, this touchy feely society where people need to feel something and touch something, and they kind of like that internet digital feel, that virtual feel. Well, you have to get out and you have to meet people. You have to be able to read people. Communications classes, that's what we talk about, ladies and gentlemen, at the vault. Communications classes and leadership classes. Communications classes for sure. That helps with association. Guilty by association. Guilty by association leads into this next topic, which is being time poor. And so many people don't know what the mentor said when he said that to us, and we were just, like, okay, well, you don't want to be time poor. So many people are time poor. That think about it, if they were home during the pandemic, how are you time poor? Maybe because they didn't have activities, but now time poor means just mismanaging of time and as well not being efficient in time and allocating time at all to getting things done. Time poor. It means that a person doesn't have a good grasp of their schedule. They say, "Oh, I don't have time." This is what people say. People that are time poor say, "I don't have time." Now, there's a way to say it because we've adapted this into our arsenal recently just because sometimes you're only saying that just to tell somebody no. So you'll tell them, "No, I ain't got the time." We respect people that say that. When people say, "Oh, I don't got the time," because they have previous obligations, That's respectable. We're talking about the people that just say that they don't have time in general. They feel very lackluster. They feel that when it comes to time, like their whole life is in shambles. Where some people, they only will say that for a period of time because they have planned activities or there's activity going on or something of that nature. There's a specific reason for them to say no, I don't have time. But they're not going to say I'm time poor. The people that are going to actually acknowledge time poor are the people that are going to say that they don't have time. Those are people that say I don't have time, to do, I don't have time to study. I don't have time to this. I don't have time for that. These are the people that are going to make the excuse that they don't have time for this and have time for that. Whether it's studying, whether it's putting in the work for the activity that they need to be implementing strategy for, whatever it is. And so time poor comes from mismanaging our time. And so the way that we get around that is by managing our time better, period. It's not just being time poor. We have to increase how valuable our time is. And so we have to do more in the period of time that we have. Increasing our value. And that's how you get over not being time poor. The mentor said that you kind of sit back and you think about, am I time poor? No, you're not. You're time rich. And you're still looking to be the best that you could be. You don't just give up because you have some time back. Some people are financially independent. So appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Shout out to everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Once again, we just going through the episodes, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to, do all these individual episodes. We're going to just go ahead and give y'all a mid-year update on some things. Oh, here's a great one. Funding your own pension and retirement. We might say that one for tomorrow for the Tuesday episode. See if we could pull on Coordinator Trader, because funding your own pension and retirement is everything. And, so many people, they really don't understand. You got to fund it. You got to step up to the plate, because otherwise you're going to be dependent on Social Security. If you're telling yourself that, you're going to be dependent on Social Security. And Social Security, if you can you live off $1,500 a month? Can you live off $2,300 a month? In what state can you live off $2,300 a month? We're not talking about in Kansas. We're not talking about Alabama. Can you live in New York with that? Can you live in D.C. with that? Can you live in L.A. with that? Oh, no, you can't live in those big cities. Exactly. So where are you going to go live? Who are you working for? What are you doing over there in Kentucky? What are you over there doing in Kansas for business? Is it online? Somebody said to us, the discipline of the trustee, trust Christian, in the vault. We need to know what is the disciplines. We need to know the discipline of the trustee. Well, one of the disciplines of the trustee is having a calendar and journaling. Once again, the way you pass along the manual of wealth is by creating a minute book for the family estate, that they can always go back and see the decisions that you made or the previous generation made and why. You can see that, whether that's just called journaling or whether that's called bookkeeping. It's just allowing the books to be looked at in a manner of not just numbers, but actually have a narrative. See, when we learn in the trading, you got to look at the numbers and the story. You do got to see the news that's coming out. So did you see the news from Coin Market Cap's people that own it? So what are they saying about the company? Look at the numbers. Look at the story. A lot of people get fooled by the words and things of that nature because they're looking at the news. When you're looking at the news, you're looking at a very uh, marketing, paid for advertising narrative. They have their own narrative at the big media. Narrative. So not only are we seeing what the story is, we definitely seeing what the numbers are. So one of those things you gotta definitely make it a point to be on point and not get off point. And how do you do that? By staying in tune. Let's see. So many different episodes we wanted to do over a period of time. There we go. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Flight plan. Are you taking risk out there? Are the listeners taking risk? Type into the chat if you're taking risk. Just looking at the comments here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to the replay. Always appreciate everybody. This is the mid-year conference. We definitely got a next workshop coming up. We actually probably going to do it on September 11th. We actually want to do maybe a few more conferences this year, some workshops this year. So just be really excited about that. That we actually are looking to do more than we did last year for sure. As far as the people go, uh, definitely, want to say that we're going to do another conference this year for sure for the vault and trustee training. Really always like having trustees in it. So, for the most part, the trustees are usually in the room. And if there's anyone else, they might sprinkle in from time to time. But for the most part, they're trustee trainings. That's why they call it the workshop, and it's for the trustees. So, if you want to find out how to get to one of those, we definitely can let you know. Reach out to Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Always appreciate you all for tuning in live, listening to replay. And that's that, ladies and gentlemen, the mid-year conference update. Don't get left behind. There's massive opportunity in front of you all. You guys have an awesome and blessed day.